It's called Ship in the Clouds, so it always gives me a little picture of sitting on a hillside and looking up at the clouds. Well, my name is Betty Vornbrok, and a quick version is that I was born in South Dakota, grew up in Iowa, found my way to West Virginia in my 20s, Texas in my 30s, and back to the mountains in my 40s and beyond. So I love it here. I love the mountains. I love the music. I know I've got ancestral links all back through this area, so there's probably a good reason.
Sharon Andreucci, and I live in Galax now, Virginia. I was born in Arkansas, grew up mostly in Texas. We retired. We wanted to live, we still wanted to live in Virginia, but we really liked the mountains. Well, I grew up, my family had music, gospel, country in Texas. That's about the kind of music we had. I played some piano and clarinet. I met my husband in the band in high school. And when we moved to New Mexico, my husband was very interested in learning the banjo. And he started playing bluegrass banjo. He wanted me to play fiddle with him, and I wasn't very interested. So he took me to a festival in Las Vegas, New Mexico. It was called the Wildflower Festival, and that was the first time I heard old time. And I just left it, and so I told my husband on the way home, if you switch your banjo style, then I will try to learn fiddle.
I grew up in a musical household in that my mother was a piano, mandolin, vocal person. So she got us all started playing piano and then encouraged us into whatever instrument we wanted. And so I became aware of the West Virginia old traditional music scene, mountain music scene, while also learning all different kinds of music with my contemporaries. And so we traded tunes, we traded music. If we were all gathering to have a party, we were bringing whatever instruments we had, we were making music. We were bad, we were good, we were okay. Some of us were great. And it was just all about sharing. And that's still the more important thing to me, is how people come together and play together and share.
Run the Buffalo, I believe, started maybe 5 or 6 years ago, right when we moved here. And because I think we went to the first one. Either it was at Malcolm's house or it might have been at the Wild Goose Church. There are a lot of jams and music events in this area, of course, but this is one where it's only in the non-festival months because we're very busy in the summer with all the festivals. So, but we want something in the winter, so we started, I think it's once a month, whoever wants to host a jam. And whoever hosts the jam, the people that live closer to them usually go to that jam. So,
and the name came from?
Oh, came from the mountain, Buffalo Mountain, yeah, and the people that live around that mountain.
So looking back on it, it really does kind of go right along with what at the time I would have called the elders had done in their younger days to find the music also. People within the family, people within the community, and then those that were really avid about it would make whatever it took for them to get to another county or another person's home to learn or to collect a tune that they had heard that person play, and and they'd have to learn it by hand, by ear. Once I did get to spend time with the older fiddlers of that region, it became what they passed on to us was pass it on. You know, happy to share, happy to show you what I know, happy to, give you the music, but please pass it on. I could play, my friends could play, we played. Wilson Douglas I visited on a flyby when I was in West Virginia for something else, and knew about where he lived, and he was close to where I had lived in Clay County. His wife at that time did not like that I was there, but we spent time together, and I have a photo of it on the wall. And that was one of those moments that made me lodge that in my mind, oh, I can't just do this. I have to be careful. So yeah, there was a blockade just by my gender. Well, one wonderful aspect to the apprenticeship for us has been, okay, if we're going to delve into more of the music of this area, who do we know that knows it better than anybody? And that would be Alice Gerard. Alice was very helpful at telling us the other women that she knew of, but she also reiterated what we understood was that there were just not that many fiddlers, and they were not collected, taped, filmed, and documented in any way that we could really find out that much for this area. This was from Sarah Singleton in West Virginia, and she was the one who, she also, let's see, she died I think before 2000, and she was in her 80s when she passed. And I got to know her really just the last 15, 20 years of her life, but didn't get much chance. I never did visit her at home, but every place I saw her in West Virginia, we would, and her granddaughter, or her daughter actually, her daughter wanted me to learn this tune. After she passed and we'd run into her family, she said, "Have you learned Hell Amongst the Yearlings yet?" I said, "No, but I will." And so this is one, I really like it. It's got unusual bowing for any of the versions of this tune. And so it's really kind of a special to her sound, and it's it's just a very interesting little tune. So we'll see what happens with this. A lot of people think of Galax, Virginia, Mount Airy, North Carolina as being a mecca if you're an outsider wanting to come and play the music, hear the music, meet a lot of famous, in our small world, musicians. There's a wonderful fiddlers convention in Mount Airy in June. There's a wonderful fiddlers convention in Galax in August. But it's different from other places where people can have a bar or a restaurant that they go to regularly and hear somebody presenting music. So we're not as used to, the local population is not used to being played to. You're being part of it, or you're at the Rex Theater. That's one of those places that then grew out of a need from the musicians to have a place.
People are very open at Galax.
Yeah.
You know, people.
You always feel like, you can walk the aisles, and if you get drawn into somewhere, if you're being polite, you don't just sit down and start playing, but you can, hang around the edges for a little bit, and if somebody says, "Hey, do you play that thing? Have a seat," then that's fine. But that's kind of what my springboard was. It was a bunch of people who shared the music, and that's still the more important thing to me, is how people come together and play together and share.